Okay, here is Civic to the USD pair, and then after this I'll do the CVC to the BTC pair as well. From now on I'll do both pairs, double the work. I don't mind. I understand that a lot of people are trading to the BTC pair. Completely understandable. I do it mostly to the USD pair, so I'll present both. So here is a cleaned up chart of Civic. It had a massive pump and dump. We'll ignore that for now. What matters is not the past, but the present and future, right? So let's draw some lines, but well, actually, let's do some counts. Elliott wave counts. I would say from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Very nice impulse. An impulse set or motive, M-O-T-I-V-E, set of waves make up 5 waves. What's the 1, 3, and 5? But before I go on for any, I know that I have now surpassed 2,000 followers. And that makes me really, really, really happy. The reason is because that means I have more people who are viewing my blog. That means more opportunity for me to help augment their research. The objective of my blog is to help and do no harm. I've stated that since the day one, pretty much, of my blog. And for all new followers, welcome and thank you for your time to view and read my blogs. I want to say that in each blog, at the end of it, by the way, here's a very nice, beautiful potential for Einsteinium, EMC squared. I did both the USD pair, which I call the jaws of wealth. Oh, double fractal, downward pointing, bullish. Wow. On the BTC pair. Anyways, on the bottom of each blog, I have the links to the tutorials of my Elliott wave counts. So far, I've done 2 of those. It is extremely important that you view and understand and possibly study and view multiple times to better understand and then apply and practice the laddering technique. This is how I buy. And then the buy and sell setups. Very nice video. And then I give live example of EOS laddering. How I buy and really how I sell is the opposite of it. It's just not as many rungs. And then a tutorial on how I use Fibonacci with Elliott waves. Very nice video. It can make what you see prior whole. Ties it in very nicely. I also recommend 2 very important gem of books. One is the Elliott wave principle. Another one is technical analysis of stock trends. Now you can go about my blog, I guess, in 2 ways. You can keep asking me questions and follow what I do and do what I say and do what I recommend. So basically you can receive the information and act on it. That is not the way I want to help. I want to be able to help so that you can fish on your own. And to do that, you need to purchase these books. If you have keen interest in technical analysis, and I use Elliott waves and chart pattern recognition, where both of them combined makes a powerful, powerful algorithm in projecting the most probable price pathway. To me, it's the best way to peek around the corner of time. And if you want to be able to do that and become self-proficient and sufficient, you need to buy these books and start studying. Now, as you can see in my comments, people do post their attempts of Elliott wave counts, their charts, and then I comment on it. That is a great way of getting coaching for free. Absolutely free on that side. You don't even have to upvote, and I will comment on your attempts because I want to help. That is my objective. Now, some are taking coaching lessons outside of the blog, and I'm available for that as well. I can do a portfolio assessment as well, which I've already done for some, and my rates are very reasonable. So if you're interested in that, contact me. I have very limited time. I'm very busy as it is, but quite often on the weekends, on the mornings too, I can provide coaching sessions, whether it be for Elliott wave counts, for technical analysis. We go on Skype. I share my charts with you so you can we can see it on your monitor as well. That is not the focus of my blog. I don't need the money for that. That is not the way I make my money. As you can probably tell, I make my money by massive profits. And I have done this for over 15 years now. And the best value that I can share with you are all my failures. I have failed a lot in my learning curve. I have tonnages of failures that I can offer you from an experience point of view. Why? Because I've learned valuable, extremely valuable lessons from each and every one of them, and I've adapted. And now I have put together a very powerful algorithm of Elliott waves and chart pattern recognition, which is working pretty well, I would say. If you peruse the blogs that I have posted, and I crank these out like a machine, and most of these are on demand. Most of these charts and analysis are by requests from the followers and readers, and you, the new followers and readers, are more than welcome to make a request. And the evidence of performance is in my blogs, so go and check it out. I have been putting out kaboom kaboom titled blogs, and those demonstrate massive profits in only days. Okay? Having said that, let's go back to CVC. So we counted 5 waves, and once you review the tutorial, you will get very familiar as to how these work. And after you buy the book, what do you do? It doesn't become a doorstop. You have to open it, read it, and study it with paper and pencil and notes. And then you got to try to practice, apply counting on your own. Why? Because practice makes perfect, or near perfect. So I have here 5 waves, and Elliott wave states after 5 waves, there's a correction. Boom. That's a very simple rule. So once you count 5 waves, you can expect a correction. And in my buy-sell setup, the best time to take your profit is at the end of a 5th wave. Out you go, sitting on your pile of profits, and you take your profits gratefully and humbly because there's a correction coming. Now, cryptos, especially altcoins, have a genetic trait. I am a geneticist by training. I'm a population geneticist. So a lot of statistics, mathematics, modeling. And a genetic imprint is an innate condition. That is a phenotypic condition, something that you can visualize, you can actually see. And that phenotypic condition of that is called hurry up and wait. My brother used to be in the army, and he always used to talk about, that's why I say hurry up and wait. And I think it befits this innate genetic condition for altcoins quite well. What I mean by that is whenever there's an impulse wave of 5 waves, it wastes no time. So here's a time band. Let's say from here to here that it took to put in 5 waves. Now the correction just takes forever. So they hurry up and they just wait out the correction. All right. Now here's a time band for the correction. So I would say 1, 2, about 4 times as long. Don't forget that. That is why I say take your profits. More likely than not, you're going to get a really long correction like this. And you don't want to trade these. There's no happiness in trying to trade a very complex combination type of correction like this. I don't even count it anymore. Okay, the reason why I don't count it is because what's more important is not the accuracy of your Elliott wave count. What's more important is the direction of your projection. So let's draw some lines now. So I draw a line across the tops of the price bars. When the two lines intersect, that is called the apex. Okay. And this kind of complex correction is clearly a WXY. I'll label the big ones first, so I'll say WXY. And within the W, you'll see the WXY subwaves. You will see it like this. So WXY. So this WXY will be subwaves of this W. This WXY will be the subwaves of this X. And this WX with more WXYs will be the subwaves of this Y, red Y. Okay? And it may be that one more low is possible. One more low could be possible, but not required. So my projection from here will be that I think if this is the Y of the WXY, big, long, elongated, slow as molasses, flowing outdoors in the middle of February in the East Coast, type of slow correction, elongated. I mean, this will test anyone's patience, so that's why I say there's no happiness in trying to trade something like this. You'll get whipsawed like crazy. And it is extremely difficult to project price pathway of correction because there's 36 possible combinations. That means it gives you less than 3% to get it right on one shot. Not good. The odds are awful. The only thing that I use the correction is to look for the terminal end. Why? Even in this very complex correction, where it's not a very simple A, B, C type, the best types of correction time to get in and buy is at the terminal end of the ABC correction. This is where I start laddering in. Guess where we are here? Are we at the beginning of the correction over here? Are we at the middle of the correction in this zone? Or are we at the end of the correction? We are at the end of the correction. So if I were you, I would be laddering in, setting my ladder, casting my ladder right here. I would do one extreme one, one lower Y. Right here as well, and above it as well. I'd have like 10 rungs, buy rungs set up. Why? Because we are at the terminal end of a very complex WXY correction. And if this correction is done, what's going to happen? After correction finishes, you get a trend reversal, or the resumption of the original trend, in this case up. So we can see a potential for a new, excluding this, all-time highs, excluding this pump and dump episode. I'm not going to count that. $9,459 will be the target. Now some of you are asking, how the hell do you know where to put those numbers? How do you know where to put these? What are you doing? I mean, is it magic? No. Not at all. And I'll show you. It's quite easy. Yeah, you do have to follow the rules of Elliott waves on how to label. And I'll go through that with you right now. What many technical analysts do, they do angled lines. They love to draw angled trend lines. They forget about the horizontal lines. So, to me, there is a good amount of resistance here. And as you can see, prices have been repelled by that. So I will make one here, it'll get repelled to the now support of this top line of the triangle. Wave 3 will have the enough mojo and go up with gusto. Okay, and ideally traverse this. It may get repelled here. Okay, but in my opinion, this will 1, 2, 3 of 3 repel, and 5 of 3 will then take it to the next line of the resistance, which is over here. Okay, and then I would take 5th wave. This will get repelled into a 4th wave, and 5th wave will take it to the higher highs. And the rule of Elliott waves states that wave 2 cannot equal the beginning or the start of wave 1. Check. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest between 1, 3, and 5. Good. Wave 4, the bottom of wave 4 cannot overlap with the top of 1. No problem. And wave 5 simply needs 5 subwaves. If that sounds like a freaking foreign language to you, I don't blame you if you've never heard of Elliott waves. But you know what? It's learnable and doable if you start studying it using that book and viewing my tutorials. That's what I strongly recommend. Okay. All right, so that's that for the USD pair, and let's go for the BTC pair. And I prefer using the Bittrex feed as much as possible. And look at that pump and dump. Jeez. Awful. Oh. Look at this. What I first try to do immediately is visualize the patterns. That's what I try to do. I try to visualize any patterns that I can see. Top to bottom, bottom to top, left to right. I'm nearsighted, I wear glasses. So I take my glasses off. And it's blurry, but sometimes it helps me to see a pattern that I otherwise cannot discern. This is what I mean by discernment. You have to discern the patterns. It's there, but it's like every idea is out there. For every new product, new invention, it's already all out there. You just have to discern it. And that has to do with what Einstein always said, is time is just an illusion. Everything all happened at once. So all ideas, all concepts, all probabilities and possibilities are out there. You just have to discern it. So even a discernment is a quantum event. And I believe technical analysis is nothing but a quantum event. And I have an essay on that as well. You can go to, I think, a couple of weeks back and find the essay on technical analysis. So anyways, let's draw some lines. Check out this triangle. Very nice, and broke out of it. Whoa, look at this. This is the hurry up. This collapse is the hurry up. This surge is the hurry up. Now is the and wait stage. Draw a line here. Check that out. The apex is here, where the two lines intersect. It's getting closer and closer. In a triangle, especially a downward pointing triangle, which is bullish, when the triangle is pointing up, it's bearish. The closer price gets to the apex, the more pent-up energy and mojo for the bulls become, and you're going to see a surge. Now here's a fractal. 1, 2, although this isn't as downward pointing. This is pretty awesome. Oh my God. This is like a gift horse. You don't want to stare this on the mouth. And people will say, when will this happen? The number one aspect of technical analysis is not necessarily on the timing. It's on the call of the direction of the price. When this will happen could be from here to, let's say, here. Okay, maybe another week or so. Frankly, I don't care. I don't care, frankly, when it will happen, because I can have this laddered up. I can have position my rungs, one here, one there, one here, one few below. My encompassment of buying range will be from here to here. So if you don't understand what I just said on laddering, go back to my tutorial and review this. It explains it all with deep details and a real live example of how to set that up. I call it casting your buy entry ladder. You never want to buy all your shares in a single transaction, because 99.99% of the time it's going to go lower than what you just bought it at. And that's going to cause psychological and emotional damage, and you're going to buy high and sell low. So the laddering takes the emotion out of the buying and selling process. All right, now let's do some counts. So this is a wave, big, massive correction that's happened. And it looks like ABC. I'm going to say maybe a zigzag. I can't count this on the subways. And now nor will I even try. So I'm going to just call it from here, A, B, C. And there might be one more lower low. That's possible. And you know what? If you have your wrong set up here on the lower side, you're going to be very happy that you're going to get at better prices on some of your buys. That's wonderful. It's weird, actually. At first I thought that I'm actually getting happy that the price is going lower than my initial upper rungs, because my lower rungs are getting filled. It's a bit of a way of upside down thinking, and that's the same as saying that technical analysis, stating that news and events don't drive prices, and people just have a hard time understanding or believing that. They would argue with you till the sun disappears. But as a true technical analysis, you will comprehend and believe that. Why? You will experience that. And experience will make you a believer out of it. And I think one of the experiences of the success that I'm having on the calls should help you with that concept. Because I'm going based on that concept. I don't read news. I don't read fundamentals. I'm not saying they're bad. All I'm saying is that it doesn't work as well as pure technical analysis. And the reason is because sentiment drives prices. So price is a reflection of sentiment. Technical analysis measures price directly as possible. News and fundamentals is further removed from sentiment. It is driven by sentiment also, but it is more downstream than price events, which is why price is more upstream than the news and events. Never the other way around. If that's hurting your brain right now, you might want to go and read some of my other essays that I have in the past blogs. So, ABC. And C wave always has 5 waves, right? Let's see if we can 5 waves. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. What an opportunity. When is the best time to buy? Here? At the beginning of a correction? This would have been a beautiful buy. This would have been a beautiful buy. but the better buy is here. At the terminal end of a correction is the best time to buy. So ladder in. Boom. The reason is because after this is complete, after the C wave is done and completed, you're going to see an impulse of waves coming up like this. Now I'm eyeballing my resistances. One will probably come here, come down. 3. Sorry, one more time. Missed that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, just as I explained earlier, I look for the resistance zones, horizontal resistance zones, to land my numbers of the waves. I'm giving away all my secrets. No problem. More than happy to. Not everyone does it that way. You might notice. If you view other Elioticians, not everyone uses that technique. Why? Most technicians forget about the horizontal resistance zones. Their second nature is to go after the angled trendline resistances, and that's a mistake. Horizontal resistances are extremely valuable. So the target here will be 0.000227. And that will be in Bitcoins. I should do it in Satoshis, but it's all right. All right, this looks bullish. Buy, buy, buy. Ladder, ladder, ladder. I hope this has been helpful to you. And if you have any questions, please do post in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as possible. And as always, I always say, I hope I have earned the right to ask you for your upvotes, follows, and resteams. And as always, more to come.